Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday Night Smackdown. Of course you know who I am, the chairman of the WWE, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And here on Friday Night Smackdown, I'm here to shake things up because we know that there's this World Heavyweight Championship division that's in a huge state of flux. We've got so many contenders that could possibly be challenging the World Champion Sheamus for his title at SummerSlam. So I've decided to think a little bit outside of the box. What we're going to have at SummerSlam is a Championship Scramble match, where Sheamus will be defending his championship against 4 other superstars. Now, who are those 4, you may ask? Well, one of them is the Viper, Randy Orton. He got a victory over 2 other superstars at Vengeance, plus he defeated the former #1 contender for the title, Wade Barrett, last week on SmackDown. So I think Orton has earned himself a spot. Now, as for the other 3, we've got more than enough superstars that would be willing to qualify. So what we're going to do, next week we'll have 3 qualifying matches. Mark Henry versus The Big Show, Edge versus Alberto Del Rio, and then we have Mr. Wade Barrett. Now, I've got a very, very, very interesting opponent for you, Mr. Barrett. Hold on, Vince. Now, if anyone deserves a shot at Sheamus, you don't have to worry about the other superstars on this show. I'm more than willing to compete against Sheamus for the title. In fact, I'm the most deserving here. I took Sheamus to the limit at Vengeance. There is nobody more deserving of a title shot than me. So I shouldn't have to qualify. You should just give me a match with Sheamus at SummerSlam. No championship scramble, just me versus Sheamus one-on-one, straight up. I'm glad to see you have that kind of an attitude, Wade. So instead of having your qualifying match next week, why don't we have it tonight? Live on SmackDown in the main event. It'll be you, Mr. Barrett, going one-on-one with the animal, Dave Batista! What's up, YouTube? This is Mathos97, and welcome back to another episode of WWE 2K14 Universe Mode. This is episode number 4, and as you can see, we're here with Friday Night Smackdown. And we're getting slowly, but surely, we're getting closer to that SummerSlam pay-per-view. And still in the first week, here you can see the feeds I've set up. We have the Ryback Christian Intercontinental Championship feud. Primetime players versus the Real Americans for those tag team titles. I mean, the game set up the Divas feud. Someone actually suggested in the comments that there should be a feud between Natalya and Kaitlyn for the Divas title. So, hey, the game was listening. You got your wish. So, we got that feud going on 12 weeks. It's a bit daunting, but we'll see how Universe plays that out. I am kind of interested to see how a long feud goes. But the Ryback Christian Intercontinental Championship feud was already set. As we all know, Ryback defeated Curtis Axel on the final episode of SmackDown in WWE 13 to become the #1 contender. And the game also set up that... Oh, as you can also see, the Brothers of Destruction, I added them into the game because for whatever reason they weren't a tag team already. So here you can see the card, Rey Mysterio and Justin Gabriel versus Curtis Axel and Jinder Mahal. Nice use of that Intercontinental Championship division. We have the Job Squad versus 3MB, Natalya versus Kaitlyn, and this main event, no, Christian and Ryback cannot main event the show. I'm sorry, that it just can't happen. So we have to set up, of course, our main event between Wade Barrett and Batista, and I'm sure Wade Barrett was not no one was expecting Batista to make his return to the WWE here tonight, and even more than that, he's got a opportunity to become I can't speak. I'm just so in shock, but he's got an opportunity. I'll get to it later, but anyway, the Job Squad defeats 3MB thanks to Khali. You got the fall over Drew McIntyre, and here, as we can see, Rey Mysterio and Justin Gabriel defeated Curtis Axel and Jinder Mahal. And I think we're going to go ahead and try to play these 3 matches. So let's go into Kaitlyn versus Natalya. As you also saw, the Primetime players have a tag team match against the Real American, or not the Real Americans, what am I saying? The New Millennia, Zack Ryder and Jack Swagger. But anyway, let's get into this Divas contest.
The following Divas contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the Divas Champion, Natalya. The WWE Universe letting them hear it. approaching the ring from Houston, Texas, Kaitlyn.
Oh, I just love it when Kaitlyn comes to the ring. Woo.
Alright, so we're here with our first Divas match of WWE 2K14, and it's between Kaitlyn, who makes her debut here tonight, and the Divas champion Natalya. And we do know Natalya has defeated, well, she defeated Beth Phoenix back at Capital Punishment 2 months ago to win the Divas title, and then she defeated Beth Phoenix in a rematch at Vengeance. So Natalya has proven that she's a fighting champion, but we don't know exactly what Kaitlyn has to offer. I mean, she does have that horrible face model. I guess with Beth Phoenix gone, we gotta someone else had to inherit that bad model for the face, and I guess Kaitlyn was the odd diva out in this case. But yeah, it really does not do her justice. Hopefully they get that fixed in 2K15. But I mean, with 2K15, we're talking about a whole step up into the next gen console. So who knows? Hopefully all the superstars look a little more like themselves. I mean, not to say that some superstars don't look like they do now. Some of these superstars actually look really good. So that is pretty cool. But definitely Kaitlyn needs an upgrade, and maybe she'll have the brown hair in 2K15 because she has changed it recently. Even though she hasn't been on TV to show it off, so kind of sucks. But I do like how they had her multicolored hair in this game, because I mean, it was kind of hard to replicate in as a call for WWE 13. And they made it look pretty nice in this one. Only thing they got wrong was the face, so yeah, it's a little bit of a disappointment. But we also know, even if Kaitlyn may be in this feud with Natalya, AJ Lee, she had a victory over Carmen in the last Diva standing match a few weeks ago. So I mean, you never know. AJ could also be in there, in the hunt for the Divas Championship. So I mean, at first I was kind of like, this Divas division's not that great, but looking at the Divas we have on the roster now, we have AJ, Layla, Kaitlyn, Oksana, and Lita for now, and we will get the Bella Twins in there later on. But I actually think I could do something here with this Divas division. So I don't know. I had low expectations for the Divas division in this game, but I don't know. I think I could actually make something out of it. So we'll just have to see where this Divas division can go, and definitely see where this 12-week feud between Natalya and Kaitlyn goes. But anyway, so this isn't the only focus of the night, though. Of course, our main event between Batista and Wade Barrett, as we already know that Randy Orton is one of the contenders in that Championship Scramble match against Sheamus at SummerSlam. So Sheamus, we already know it's going to be Sheamus, Randy Orton, and the winner of this Batista Wade Barrett matchup later on tonight. So we will already know 3 of the 5 superstars who will be competing in that Scramble match. And we also know that next week it will be the Big Show versus Mark Henry and Alberto Del Rio versus Edge. So that will take care of the other 2 slots for that Scramble match. And with Batista just making his return to the WWE here tonight to be immediately in line for a possible title shot, I mean, nobody saw that coming. I mean, I sure didn't, even though, I set it up. Yeah, no. Anyway, so let's move on. Cover here by Kaitlyn, and almost a 2 count, but Natalya kicks out of that swinging neck breaker. And now Kaitlyn, she's got Natalya up on her shoulders here. This might be her signature. There's the one-knee gutbuster, or the single-knee gutbuster. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, and no, Natalya kicks out. It's going to take more than that to put away Natalya. But now Kaitlyn looks like she might be trying to finish it off here, and what the heck is that? Is that a submission? Ooh. This is a new move, but what the? I've never actually seen Kaitlyn use this move, but Natalya breaks out of it there as I kind of no-sold it, but I was trying to make sense of what that submission hold, what it was. It was like a leg arm bar? I don't know what to call that, but whatever it was, Natalya, I mean, we know she's a submission specialist of her own. She's got that sharpshooter. So I guess Kaitlyn, we can have a submission versus submission battle maybe in the near future. But anyway, Natalya did not tap out to whatever that submission hold is. I might have to look up if there's some sort of a name for that, because I don't know what to call that. But whatever it was, it looked like a pretty painful submission hold. At first, it looked like she was going for something kind of like a Bubba Bomb or whatever, like a full Nelson Bomb from behind, and then she turned into a submission. I had no idea what was going on there, but anyway, let's get back into this one as Kaitlyn's got Natalya up for a gut buster there once again. And anyway, Natalya hasn't really gotten too much offense in this, and as I say that, dumps Kaitlyn over the top, and Natalya goes over the top rope, so forget the momentum that was just about to be created there by Natalya as she brings Kaitlyn back into the ring here. But Kaitlyn, this is definitely a big opportunity to make a big impact in this universe mode. She goes for the cover. 1, 2, and no, Natalya kicks out once again. But like I was saying, this is a big opportunity for Kaitlyn to make an impact in this universe mode with her debut. If she could defeat the Divas champion Natalya here tonight, that would definitely be a big statement, making your debut. But there's the clothesline, the discus clothesline by Natalya as she hooks the leg. 1, 2, and no, Kaitlyn kicks out there at a count of 2. As Kaitlyn trying to prove her worth in this one, showing that she's got the guts to stay in it, and there's a nice sidewalk slam by Natalya. And now Natalya could be setting her up for that sharpshooter. I mean, Natalya might not have tapped out earlier, but Kaitlyn may have no choice. She's in the center of the ring here, and she's trying to get to the ropes, but she's too far away. She may have to tap out here, as Natalya's got it locked in, and she breaks the hold there. That is one thing, like one minor mechanic I don't like about 2K14, is that they took away when you break out of a submission hold that you actually kind of reverse it and turn it into another move to like get an opening, which is what most submission holds are. But I mean, in this game, they just let go of it. But as Kaitlyn goes into the cover, 1, 2 count, and 3, Kaitlyn knocks off the Divas champion Natalya in her debut here tonight. So big victory for Kaitlyn, making a huge statement by defeating the Divas champion Natalya here in her debut. And doesn't look like we're going to get a cutscene, but Kaitlyn, big victory in her debut here over the Divas champion Natalya. But like I was saying, with that whole submission hold thing, I mean, it's okay. Like, if you're really fatigued, I guess it's okay for, I mean, sometimes people don't tap out and people just let go, but that's more of like a rope break thing. And what's more is that, like, especially for online ranked matches, or not just ranked matches, but for online matches, when people tend to spam submission holds, like, the resiliency isn't enough. Like, you can slap on your resiliency, but then they just go right into a new submission hold. And it gets really annoying. And this doesn't help, because usually when you get out of a submission hold, it gives you an opportunity to create some offense for yourself, and they kind of took that away with not allowing you to reverse the submission hold. You just sort of, whoever has the submission hold locked in just pretty much lets go of it. And I don't really like that mechanic. Hopefully in 2K15 they fix that. But anyway, we're going to move on here to our tag team matchup here between the the New Millennia and the Prime Time Players.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, the WWE Tag Team Champions, Zack Ryder and the All-American Jack Swagger, the New Millennia.
Wow, listen to that reaction.
At a total combined weight of 509 pounds,
let's get into this tag team matchup here between the Primetime Players and the Real Americans. And it looks like we're going to be playing as Zack Ryder here by the random selection. You can hear in the crowd faintly the woo 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 chants. Alright, I tried to take a little bit of a break there so you could hear it. Whether they stopped or not, I'm not sure. So I'm watching the gameplay on mute so we don't get feedback on the mic. Anyway, so the Primetime Players, more superstars making their debut here tonight. Yes, they're making their debut. My god, it's the debut. I'm just gonna stop there. Anyway, so with Kaitlyn, she won her debut match here tonight against the Divas champion. Maybe the Primetime Players, maybe this is just a good night for the rookies making their debuts as the Primetime Players. If they get a victory over the tag team champions here, I mean, this just could be a good night for the rookies here, but definitely the New Millennia need this victory, as on Raw, Zack Ryder lost to Seth Rollins. And I mean, Zack Ryder, he kind of needs a little bit of something to just bring himself back up. But I mean, they did defeat, the Ascension, the team of Biggie Langston and Dolph Ziggler, at Vengeance for the tag titles, and then again on Monday Night Raw in a rematch. So we do have to find new #1 contenders for the tag team titles. And the Primetime Players, I mean, you never know, they could just be it. We haven't gotten to see what the Primetime Players are capable of yet in this universe mode, as this is their debut. But there's a big knee to the face by Zack Ryder. As now Darren Young into the ring here. As I try to get them like for the Primetime Players, I said this in another video, for like tag teams, I'll try to give them matching attires. That's sort of one exception to the Superstar Threads thing where I said that, well, I didn't really do that for the Real Americans here, but I mean, come on, can you see Jack Swagger wearing a pink and white attire? I don't think so. So maybe I should have fixed that for Ryder, but anyway, for the tag teams, I try to make it so that they have, like, matching attires. So Darren Young's got the yellow and red, and Titus has the red and yellow. But, so, like, normally I'll have, like, random attires set. Whereas, if it's a tag team, I'm going to try to give them the matching attires rather than random, because we don't want to see, you know, Darren Young come out in, like, a blue and green, and Titus O'Neil in, like, a white and black or something. It just wouldn't match. So I'd like to get them the match. I mean, these aren't the exact same attires, but I mean, they do have the same color scheme, so I'll kind of try to mix it up every now and then as far as the attires go. I mean, I definitely will change them every now and then, and maybe the colors too. Maybe I'll go in and actually change the ones I have set, not just use the 3 that you're limited to. But I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do there, but I definitely will be changing up the Superstar Threads for Superstar Threads. I meant to say attires for like each episode. So maybe this one they're in the red and yellow sort of thing. Next episode they might be both in the purple or something like that. I mean, I'm gonna try. Let me speak. I'm like eating my words. But like I was trying to say, there will be. I'll keep them matching attires, but I will like change the attires that they're wearing every now and then. So, anyways, we see Zack Ryder there with a leg drop to the face of Titus O'Neil. And the big man is down, so Zack Ryder's going to try to keep it that way. As definitely, Zack Ryder would definitely get dominated in the form of power up against Titus O'Neil. So he's definitely going to have to use his speed and quickness. 1 count, 2, and Darren Young gets in there to break it up off the DDT. But Zack Ryder, oh, look at this. He's going to try to power Titus O'Neil up there. And he takes him down there with that signature maneuver. And Zack Ryder, he's going to make the tag into Jack Swagger. And Swagger could be looking for that Patriot lock here. And yes, he's got Titus O'Neil by the ankle. And he's got it locked in the Patriot lock. And Titus O'Neil trying to get to the ropes there. And Darren Young trying to get in there to break it up. But Zack Ryder will have none of that as Titus O'Neil. Can he get out of the Patriot lock? Or is he going to be forced to tap out? But no, Titus O'Neil manages to escape the Patriot lock as Darren Young and Zack Ryder are still going at it over there. Darren Young finally has to leave the ring or else he'll be disqualified. And now Jack Swagger's got it locked in again. And Titus O'Neil has to tap out to the Patriot lock. He was so close to the ropes. But, I mean, just the power of Jack Swagger. He could have broken that ankle of Titus O'Neil. And Titus had no choice but to tap out. So a big victory here for the New Millennia. I mean, as far as tag team competition goes, who can stop the New Millennia? They've defeated Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston. They defeated the Primetime Players here tonight. I mean, their singles success has a little bit to be desired as far as, well, Swagger is the U.S. champion, if you remember, so he's also got to be worried about possibly defending that title at SummerSlam. But anyway, the Primetime Players are unsuccessful in their debut match, and it looks like they're going to be 0-1 to start out their careers, as they're unsuccessful in defeating the Tag Team Champions here tonight. As we'll move on to the main event matchup here between the Animal Batista and Wade Barrett, #1 contenders match for the World Championship.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Manchester, England, weighing 246 pounds, Wade Barrett.
Here comes the former Bare Knuckles champion and owner of the Barrett Barrage.
Approaching the ring from Washington, D.C., weighing 290 pounds, the Animal Batista.
I've been looking forward to this one.
Alright, so now we're here with the main event of the evening. We're not going to play this one, we're going to let the computer take control. Yes, they're going to take control. No, that sounded dirty. Anyway, so it's going to be the Animal Batista taking on Wade Barrett. And I'm just going to refer to these matches as #1 contenders matches because it does get them a championship opportunity. I mean, I guess they aren't #1 contenders, but they do get into a title match. So anyway, we have this contenders match between Wade Barrett and Batista, a qualifying match for that Championship Scramble at SummerSlam. Like I said earlier, we already know that Sheamus and Randy Orton will be competing in that one, and we're about to find out who will be the third man in that match. Will it be Wade Barrett, the Barrett Barrage, the Master of the Bullhammer, or will it be the Animal Dave Batista's? You have to think Dave Batista, while he would be fresh, he probably has a little bit of ring rust since he hasn't been in action in the WWE. He hasn't had any in-ring competition for it's been like 3 years now. It's almost been 4 years since I think his last match was against John Cena. Well, not his last, but I think his last match was against John Cena at Extreme Rules 2010, because I know he faced Cena at WrestleMania 2010. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure Batista's been out of action for 3 years now. So he's got to have some sort of ring rust, but it's good to see the Animals back in the ring, competing here on the show he made famous, Friday Night Smackdown. And, I mean, Batista, he was a very dominant World Heavyweight Champion, one of the most dominant, as far as the WWE World Heavyweight Championship goes, one of the most dominant of all time, as he did hold that title for a very long time. He defeated the likes of Triple H to win the title, and Wade Barrett, he did have a shot at Sheamus at Vengeance, but Wade Barrett was unsuccessful in capturing the gold there, and now he's got a chance to possibly get himself into that match. A big black hole slam there by Batista, but Wade Barrett, he definitely has been on a bit of a downward spiral since Vengeance, as he lost to Randy Orton last week, and that's why Randy Orton has been named a contender, or a participant in that SummerSlam Championship Scramble match. So Wade Barrett, he definitely needs this win here, as he has been on quite a losing streak as of late. And Batista just getting back, he would definitely make a very big impact in his return if he defeated Wade Barrett and got himself into that Championship Scramble match. But even if Wade Barrett does get into the match, that doesn't guarantee that he's going to win the title, because there will be 4 other superstars in that match, including the world champion himself, Sheamus. I mean, we already know that there's going to be one giant in that match at least, because it's going to be a match between Mark Henry and the Big Show next week, so there's going to be some huge, powerful dude in that match. So Wade Barrett, he's going to have to use some of that brawling style. I mean, he definitely can't outpower a guy like Mark Henry or the Big Show. And then we've also got a potential submission specialist in Alberto Del Rio, and then of course the ultimate opportunist, Edge. I mean, it's just such a wide variety of talent in this World Heavyweight Championship division here on SmackDown. And I mean, you never know what's going to happen, who's going to make it into the match. And even once the match is ready, wait a minute, I think Batista going for a Batista bomb here, but Wade Barrett counters into a DDT. And now Wade Barrett, this could be the opening he needs here. Could be looking to put Batista away early here with a bullhammer elbow. And he's got Batista, spins him around. Boom! Wade Barrett connects with the bullhammer. And now all he's got to do is pin Batista. Got to get him away from the ropes, of course. And Wade Barrett just got to hook the leg here. What? No! What the? Batista just pulled a John Cena. That's the ultimate no-sell. He just kicked out of the bullhammer before a 1 count. Oh, God. So, okay, forget anything I said about ring rust. The Animal is back. He's ready to fight. He's ready to become the next World Heavyweight Champion. And he's not going to take no crap here from Wade Barrett. Batista, he means business here. As Wade Barrett, he's got to be frustrated. I mean, he's got to be thinking, what does he have to do to put away Batista now? I mean, Wade Barrett, his confidence has definitely been shot the past few weeks as he lost to Sheamus at Vengeance and lost to Randy Orton the Friday Night SmackDown after. And now Batista just kicked out of the bullhammer elbow. I mean, but Wade Barrett's got to be frustrated here. I mean, what has he got to do to put away the Animal? I mean, he might just have to load up a second bullhammer. Well, it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Wade Barrett, he's got Batista up on his feet here, setting him up here. Oh no, this time Wade Barrett, wasteland, putting down the Animal. 1, 2, 3, and Wade Barrett has got himself, against all odds, Wade Barrett has gotten himself into that World Heavyweight Championship Scramble match at SummerSlam. So we now know it's going to be Wade Barrett versus Sheamus versus Randy Orton in that Championship Scramble match. We don't know who the other 2 superstars are, but we know who they could be. And Wade Barrett, I mean, he definitely was not prepared to face the Animal Batista here tonight. Nobody was expecting Batista to make his return here tonight on SmackDown, but Wade Barrett, in the end, managed to overcome the Animal, putting down the Animal Batista. But this definitely will not be the last of the Animal, as he's only just getting started here in his return to the WWE. And although he didn't get the victory, he did have a strong showing. He took it to Wade Barrett early and often, although he just couldn't get the job done, as Wade Barrett eventually left Batista in a wasteland of his own. What's the opposite of success? I was trying to think of something really clever there, and I kind of ruined it there. But let's see, we got some unread news. Zack Ryder and Jack Swear set to defend. Okay, it's a little weird considering the primetime players lost, but oh well. So as we can see the rankings, Wade Barrett and Orton are those number 1 and 2 contenders, and then you can see the Intercontinental Championship rankings here. But anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave the like button. Leave a like for the return of the Animal Batista, yeah. So thanks for watching. Keep on YouTubing.